God. Welcome to episode number 7 of the OpTic podcast. We have the Halo squad minus Royal 2 in the house. We have obviously your usual host, OpTic Hex, Hector Rodriguez, the 37-year. Look, I did. We. This is the second time. This is the second time we got into such a groove. This is the second time we're recording this because I'm not gonna blame it on Hitch. I'm gonna blame myself, but my setup was changed. Okay. And then I looked down, and we were 20 minutes into a really good conversation. We had the fucking groove going.
I'm out of it now. I feel out of whack.
No, we're good. Anyway, so we pretty much just went over how Frosty got discovered, and you know what? Just thinking about it, it pisses me off. Okay,
Because he got lucky, right?
No,
Just a lucky kid.
It pisses me off because it was so good. The way that really quickly paraphrase what you already said so beautifully, so perfectly. How you got discovered?
Basically, Halo 5 came out. I grinded the game. I got notice, and PJ picked me up as his fourth.
Yeah, see, it doesn't have the same pizzazz as it did on the first round because what happened was that he was a mod in TJ's stream.
He wasn't a mod. He was a paying subscriber. Loyal subscriber.
He was part of, what do you call your subs? The lethals?
No, I don't call them anything.
Yeah.
But they call themselves some weird stuff. And I'm not going to say it because...
it's not popular.
For one, they're going to watch us and they're going to spam in my chat. Because last time on your vlog, when we were talking about them, they said I didn't defend them. They said they kept spamming I didn't defend them, so they said they were going to be extra bad. So they were extra bad in the chat to get me back for not defending them.
So they all ganged up. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so they're going to do...
That's the type of crowd that you want, though. You know? You want some ride or die. Some dudes that don't put up with your bullshit if you bullshit.
No, they like... cause chaos in there, you know. They trash talk me, but it's all satire, it's all joking. But then randomly, like, you got that one guy from Twitch who's just like, he had a bad day from work. He came home. He had like 3 Jack and Cokes. He turned on the stream and he's like, "I'm gonna bully this guy."
Yeah.
He comes in. I don't even have to do anything. They just sick him.
They love you.
I just sit back and I watch the Wolves get him.
They roast TJ like super hard, like sarcastically. But the second someone actually says something like trying to come at him, like they don't stop.
We just bait in one guy to actually trash talk me, and then
he never comes back.
No,
he never comes back. Anyway, so he was your sub.
Yeah.
And I asked him how he went from a sub into like onto a pro team and then onto the pro team, and pretty much what they said is that the Warhead kids, what are their names?
The Suddiths.
The Suddiths. They're twins,
saying their name makes me laugh.
What is it? What is it? Seriously, what is it with Halo and twins? What is it?
I wish I knew.
I wish I knew.
Do you have a twin? Any of you?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
My dad has a twin though.
Really?
Yeah.
So that means that when you impregnate someone, they're gonna have twins, maybe even triplets.
There's gonna be 2, 3, maybe 4 exactly me in a few years.
We don't want that.
I don't think the world is ready for that.
Okay, so what is it with Halo and twins? Let's go over them just so because I may be missing some. We have Lunchbox and Roy.
Yep.
Royal 2 and Royal 1.
Oh no, they're not twins.
They're not twins.
No,
they're related.
They just
they're brothers.
Yeah, they're brothers.
Yeah.
They're brothers. They are brothers.
Yeah.
Obviously the Ogres.
The Ogre twins.
The Suddiths.
The Suddiths.
The Suddiths
Wait,
are
am I up to 5 pairs already? No way, right?
No,
there's
that's 3 pairs.
There's 3.
So what do we call them?
Are there? Is it
the Roy box?
Roy box. That's what they're called.
Ogres.
The
Suds.
The Suds.
You can just tell by the name. The Suds are like out of those 3.
They throw warheads at you after they beat you. Not necessarily at you, but like to the crowd. Like,
I've seen them throw warheads at people in person. Yeah. I've also seen them get in many altercations because they throw
warheads at you.
They beat the Australian team Immunity.
Okay.
And they like stood up and they were like in their face and like they had a warheads flag, I think, and they were like, reality check, because that was their team name. That's the worst part, because like losing to them is terrible. Them telling you lost them is terrible, but then they stand up and they would yell their team name at you, which is reality check. And honestly, losing them, it's like you're just like
it's a reality check.
It's a reality check.
Reality check. Reality check.
Yeah, like when they win,
that's
they
what they do.
Jump up and start screaming.
Yeah,
at you.
No matter
what.
Have
you ever lost to them?
No, but
you've
like
seen.
We said earlier, he was
exactly,
on their team and beat APG and Maniac's team at Gamers for Giving 2015.
Noble Black was their team name.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they got how did you? I wish Nick was here so I could ask him.
I told him.
How old were you at the time?
17, I think.
Yeah,
damn. Did you talk shit to him?
No, there's actually a video. There's a reaction because of like how crazy the reaction is.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't happen, especially since that Noble Black team got third at finals the next event.
We were not supposed to win.
Yeah, at all. Like, there's a reaction video, and like everyone is watching. It's like on a side station.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "What is happening over here?" You know, that's how side stations work. And like everyone like gathers.
Yeah.
And it's like the last like 2 minutes of the game, and it's someone just recording like the station, and like it's like zooming in on people's faces while it's all happening, and then they win. And he was sitting on like the very end, the far right,
where he usually sits.
Yeah, and they win, and he didn't do anything. He
I
literally like smiled, like one of his friends like said, and he's like, yeah. But while that's happening around him, the suds are on people's shoulders, basically.
Yeah,
I'll give you credit.
The monitors like pointing at him and stuff, and I literally just put my headset down and then got up and went to shake their
hand. And then you see Noble, he tries to shake their hands. APG was gone. They lost, and APG stood up and stormed out. Didn't even have his shoes on because he plays. Yeah, I don't think he threw it.
He like threw his headset or something.
Yeah, he
threw his headset down and immediately walked out.
He doesn't play with.
You got to give Brad credit. He has been the same. Like from when you started playing, like from seeing that clip, you are the exact same now as you were back then.
Yeah, whenever you win.
Like whenever you win, like there's just no emotion. Like he just puts his headphone down. Like nice job. Okay, cool.
Well, that's good. Well, good for you, man. I mean, I've never. I mean, you can't even call that a competition because we were playing on 50-inch TVs, sitting on fucking love sacks, in Orlando 2006 for Hard Knocks, whatever. But I always wonder what sort of competitor I would have been because I rage a lot when I play, and just last night I had a moment where I raged because I fucking had the clutchest fucking play with the sniper. I did everything right.
You raged because you clutched it?
No, I raged because some dude fell into fucking Last Stand. All right. And then he fucking killed me.
Like I said, I don't rage or react really anymore. But when I was younger,
I'm 37.
Okay, mentally young,
37 years young.
like COD 4, Halo 3, which was like 2007. So I was like 13. I'm in my peak of rage. All right.
Yeah.
The momentum that I was raging at. When kids went Last Stand or Martyrdom or whatever, screaming.
Yeah, I just look. I come and I always say this, and this is no excuse, right? But I come from the '90s, right? I mean, I was born in 1980, but I grew up in the '90s where no internet, and if you said something, you were gonna get your ass beat because there was no internet, no filter, nothing that would say, you know what, I'm protected because it's anonymity. They don't know who the fuck I am. I can talk shit to whoever the fuck I want. Nothing's gonna happen. You know, if you talk shit,
keyboard warriors.
Yeah, if you talk shit, somebody's gonna approach you and be like,
you showed us all the streets.
Yeah, let's do it, right? So I always wonder to myself, I'm like, what kind of competitor would I have been? Because I literally have no self-control when it comes to competition. I'm that competitor where, like, it takes zero to trigger me. Okay, nothing. Somebody sneezes, I'm getting fucking mad.
I've never sneezed around him.
Yeah, you never what?
I've never sneezed around him. I don't know what he's gonna do.
Anyway, so no, this is purely when I'm playing like Call of Duty and game battle specifically. Like I don't know if I say that I'm a sore loser, but I'm a respectful loser. So when I say I'm a sore loser, I'm like, I just need some time to myself to really get calmed down from this like really aggressive state of mind that I'm in, right? Aggressive and angry, not
it's understandable.
Yeah. Is it though? Is it for a 37-year-old man, father of a 7-year-old married, you know?
I mean,
when you add all that, it sounds worse, but it's like
a video game. A video game is a video game. Yeah. A video game is a video game, no matter how old you are, especially if you're competitive with it. Yeah.
Like,
you're not playing pubs.
I kind of feel like
you're playing GB matches.
I feel like the competitive state of someone kind of remains the same throughout their whole life a lot of the time.
100%.
It's testosterone, man.
Yeah, I mean, like if someone's super competitive, they're gonna be competitive like their whole life, and like how they react to winning and losing.
Yeah, you know, Jude, my wife once told me that she could be a better free throw shooter than me, and I said, you're fucking out of your mind. Like,
I hate when girls say they can beat me in anything.
Yeah, I mean, there certainly for sure there are some that can, you know, are really good. Obviously, there's tremendous like female athletes out there, but my like why did I even have to go? Why didn't I just say, like, oh yeah, baby, for sure you can. You know, why did I have to?
That'd probably be easier. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, no, you can't. You know, like I'm a really good.
But
free
yes,
throw
I can.
shooter,
No, you can't.
All
right.
Chance.
Yeah, right.
And we're gonna go and we're gonna prove it.
No fucking way. So, I just how long have you been competing for?
I like started playing. He's probably played the longest here because he went when he was like 10. But I started when
10,
I was.
Whoa. Okay, go.
I started playing like 2009. But I was just like online stuff, and my parents. I was young then, so my parents like wouldn't let me go to tournaments because when you think about it, like,
Yeah.
when you're in the moment, like when you're the one who wants to go to the tournament, you're like,
Yeah.
why won't you let me go to?
Yeah.
Like I want to go to like MLG Columbus 2009, and I live in Michigan. I'm from Michigan.
Yeah.
It's like a 5-hour drive or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why can't I go to this? Why don't you let me? You know, and it's in your head when you're saying it. You're like, why would they let you? But now, like I look back, I'm like, why did they even let me go in 2010?
Yeah.
That's when that's when I first
How
started
old
going
were
to
you at the
tournaments. In 2010,
Yeah.
I'm 15, maybe 16, depending
Holy
on
fuck.
I was 16 because my birthday's in January.
Yeah.
So even then, and like they've never gone to a tournament with me. So I went with like one of my friends. So
events aren't. I mean,
thinking about it, it's like as a parent, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't let me go.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. It's
no. I mean, and I'm not even
at least
talking,
without knowing.
Yeah, and I'm not even talking from like a partying standpoint or from like the shit that happens.
No,
standpoint.
not
I'm
at all.
talking
Just
about
like
actual
what it
event.
is.
Yeah,
You're
what it-
traveling.
the travel.
Yeah,
anything
just the
can
traveling.
happen.
Anything. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So when did you start? So I'm gonna get to my point of why the reason I'm asking. So I need
Okay.
to.
So the first event I went to was in 2006. So I was like 11 or 10 years old. I think I was 11. I convinced, and my friend, my best friend at the time, helped me convince them. He lived up north, so the event was super close to his house. It was New York 06 playoffs. I only played in the FFA. I think I got 7th or 6th round in the FFA. And my dad came with me, obviously, and my people were actually like going up to him being like your son is like really good.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like their eyes kind of opened at that point. Like
Yeah.
they're like, okay, like he's not just doing this for fun. Like he's somewhat good at least. And then I went 2007, same thing. I only went to the local events. And then 2008 was kind of when I started like to really kind of make a longevity out of it, where I got top 32. And I mean, back then, like top 30, that was like semi-pro. And back then, like if you can get semi-pro, it was like you're good.
Yeah, you're making it.
So it was like the whole team convinced my parents to let me go. They came with me, but to let me go to the next event, which is in San Diego. Which when I think back to
he's
it,
from Jersey.
I'm from New Jersey. Yeah, so like going to California
Yeah.
was insane.
And it couldn't have been cheap. It's not something that
No.
I don't know. I don't know how rich your parents are or whatever. But it can't be cheap to be like, all right, I got. It's gonna be me, my wife,
And my
my son.
Yeah, all three.
Plane
Yeah.
tickets, the hotel rooms.
Plane tickets alone,
Foods.
like for
It definitely wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
And I
Like,
literally to this day owe my parents
Even like when I go
everything
to a
for
tournament
it.
for myself,
Everything.
and I'm just buying one ticket. I'm like, all right, calm down.
Yeah. No.
So
when did you start playing Halo? When did you start and when did you go pro? How old were you?
Well, I mean, I was 17 when I went to my first event. That was 2 years ago, and then placed pro in my second event. So it was about like 2 months after my first event. I remember because my first event was January 1st.
Yep.
2015.
yeah, it was UGC.
Yeah, and then the next event was in March. So that March event was my first time placing pro, and that was when I was with the Suds.
You
and-
played like the other Halos though, right? I mean, there's that YouTube video of you playing
Yeah.
BTB
Dude,
in Reach. He like Big Team Battle had like
Yeah.
tournament stuff, and it's like 8v8 like
Yeah.
stuff, and someone found it like last year. I don't know who found it or
Yeah.
someone in my stream.
Well,
like
do
they
you know Naked Eli?
yeah. Like it was it was his YouTube video,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, he played BTB.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just
And,
did that for fun.
I mean, he's had the same gamer tag for a long time apparently. It's so frosty.
Yeah,
ITZ.
since like 2000.
Yeah, and he's rocking it still, but
Yeah.
it's like was it 2012 or 2011?
I think it was 2012.
Yeah, so it's a BTB video and it's from Naked Eli, and he's on his team apparently.
Yeah.
And you like can see who's talking in the bottom right, like this has their gamer tag, and he's the biggest squeaker ever.
Yeah, I was like
Like,
11 or 12 at that
And,
time.
and I'm like, that was only a few years ago, and
Yeah.
your voice, I'm like, you sound like
yeah,
3.
way thicker. Yeah. So it's so frosty. What you were held?
at that time,
Yeah.
I think I was like 11 or 12.
Tell me how you came. Like, why'd you pick that for your name?
I Could not tell you. I have no reason.
You gotta have
behind
some
it.
story.
I mean, I wanted the gamertag Frosty for whatever reason. I don't know what was going through my brain.
You
probably just
had
yeah.
frostbite.
You probably just wanted it, and you were trying all these different variations.
Yeah,
That's how it all.
exactly.
That's how it exactly. That's
Yeah,
how it always
for
starts.
sure.
I mean,
That's
everything was
literally
taken.
all I could get.
Everything was taken. When I was trying to make my gamertag in 2009, so 2012.
What was Frosty though? Like Frosty, like you were just cool, or you just like Frosties, ices, and
Frosty the Snowman, maybe something.
He was
that has to be it.
He was like 10, so
that has to be it.
I mean,
It has
that's a
to be
cool.
it.
That's a better origin than mine. I got mine because
Lethal.
I had some. Well, I had some. I didn't have like a set gamer tag, you
Yeah.
know. Like I would just change my gamer tag to random stuff, and I'm like, all right, I need to like pick something. All right.
What were some of them? Hit us.
I had like the first ever team I was on was like this team name I like, by the way, and no one take it. It was like Seize Fire, and I was like, I kind of like that.
SF.
So
It's
it
not
was
bad.
like SF, like Nightmare with 2 eyes and an X or something, and I'm like, I liked it, and I was like, what the hell is this? I hate this. And then I had XII space phased FAZEDIIX.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, all right, I need to choose something.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm like, I couldn't think. I have no creativity, not a single creative thought in this brain. And I was like, all right. I grabbed a dictionary. I'm like, I'm opening this book.
The first word I see.
And I'm not first word. I was like, I'm picking one off the page.
Yeah.
And I opened up to the L's, of course.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, lethal. And then I just added a U because U's were cooler than A's apparently then.
Of course.
Yeah, it definitely looks better.
All right, snake bite. Did you get?
If
bit
you
by a
didn't
snake?
get bit by a
No,
snake,
I wish
I'm mad.
I wish I had an actual good story. Going to the first event when I was 10, my sister and my dad, I needed a login name because to buy a pass you had to have a login name, and not creative whatsoever. They helped me on the spot. They helped me come up with it. I have absolutely no idea how or why we came up with it. And then I did decent back then, and one of the things that's like it was tougher back then was if you got known or like anybody recognized your name, there wasn't Twitter or anything to like let people know you changed your name. So like if I was gonna make a new gamer tag, like
it's like hitting the reset button on a lot of what you've done. Like some people will know it's you, but like for the general like population or whatever, they're like you're like resetting.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like I did decent with it, and it was like, well, that's what people know me as.
Many people
that's what I gotta stick
go
with.
pro and like just got stuck with their name because of stuff like that.
I literally got stuck.
Because I probably would have changed my name, to be honest.
To what?
I don't know.
I would have changed mine. I don't know to what, but I still wish
I was notorious for changing it all the time.
Yeah, your names. I mean, all your names.
You don't need to change your name.
Yeah, no, I mean, once you like, it could be anything, right? Like some like C Nanners, if he's a YouTuber, like think about he said he punched in the fact that he likes the C and bananas, and then the Xbox algorithm came up with C Nanners, and that was his name.
You Xbox.
Yeah, so there was this other guy in Call of Duty. His name was County Hippo, which I thought was like the coolest fucking name ever, and that was his name. And I always felt like mine wasn't that cool because it's like the first 3 letters of my name and then the last of my last name, and Hector Hex is short. I painted graffiti for so long that was my name, and it just translated to that. That's my name. But I always wonder. Anyway, the reason I was asking how long it was that you've been starting, because you guys, were you guys ever on the TV back then?
That was like 2006, the one you're talking about. No, I wasn't.
USA stuff.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah,
that was before I was.
I remember I had just bought my first house, and I was watching on TNT. No, on TV. I don't know, wherever
It was on USA.
Yeah, on USA Network, and I was watching the games, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I went on demand and I watched every single match, and I'm trying to comprehend. I'm like, holy fuck, these guys are playing like video games at a professional level, and they're on TV for competitions, and they're winning a whole bunch of money. T-Squared, fucking Walshy, like all these fucking major like. And at the time, I'm like, that's the coolest fucking thing.
That's
ever.
literally what got me.
I was like 5
that is what got
on
me
TV.
into.
You were 5. Look at.
That is what got me into like competitive Halo, because I played Halo mainly as well, and like those are the things I saw because they had 2006, 2007. That's what I saw, and I was like, that taught me, like, learned about it.
Yeah.
And that's what made me actually start.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was crazy for me is showing up to a MLG event when, Halo was the crown jewel and what they built the business off of. Seeing the coolest fucking names out there. Believe the Hype. Fucking Straight Rippin'.
Final Boss.
Final
It's
Boss.
Final
The
Boss.
rawest name. Best name ever.
Best name.
Can we just fucking agree? Can we
Yeah.
all
Oh,
agree on that?
100%.
It's nothing can top it.
Especially it was the best team name, and then they actually like literally
Word.
backed
just because
it,
like they are like the dynasty of dynasties.
Yeah.
That, like, and that's their name.
If they were like
that's just
the
like
eighth,
insult to injury.
if they were like
while
the
you're
8th
best.
place team with that name, like it's still a cool
they'd be a
name, but
joke.
like
They
if
would be
nobody,
the first
yeah,
Yeah.
dominant.
But yeah, anyway, so I used to remember walking in there and then seeing like I have videos of me sitting down and then seeing Pistola like walking out and sitting down and thinking to myself, I'm like, holy shit, this guy's like I mean, you see him, you've met him, you know, I mean, you guys know him obviously. He's like a small dude, right? And I remember sitting there as a fan. It was me, my brother, and it was the first event that we ever attended. We took fourth, anyways, like. And I sat there and we were all sitting in like these bleachers, and then they came out and they made a big fucking deal about it, and I'm like, holy shit, this thing is like, this is fucking cool. Like I had a team there already, but like since Halo was so more well produced from an MLG standpoint, and you know they had fucking Call of Duty in a fucking corner,
the
with
bleachers
no
and the
chairs.
walkout with Farouk, the hype man.
Yeah, all that shit, and I remember specifically, and I have it. It's somewhere in my old videos on OpTic Nation. I'll try to rip it and put it somewhere. But I remember seeing him come out and thinking to myself, I'm like, holy shit, that kid's a fucking superstar. Look at everybody clapping for him, right? I mean, eventually, you know, I would get to know him and be cool friends with him, have a secret handshake with him and shit. Stuff like that or something. But at the time, Halo was so cool that if you showed up, if you were a Halo Pro, you were a legit fucking superstar. And with superstardom comes obviously the Dr. Pepper girls and the Flips girls and all that. And I remember seeing Mason Cobb. What was his name?
Neighbor. Yeah, Neighbor.
The homie like always was always with girls, and I'm like, look at my man. So like he's out here like he's a legitimate superstar, right? Because immediately you attribute success to obviously, you know, the girls, right? When you're that age and your popularity and all that. So me seeing that like didn't inspire me to become like a fucking pro player, but I liked the culture of it, and Halo was my first introduction to esports in a sense, and I was always like holy shit, one day Call of Duty can get to be that fucking big, you know.
It's bigger now. Call of Duty.
What?
Oh god.
Mason.
Like,
is that what you're laughing about? Just thinking about
just
Mason.
Everything. That guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long? So when was the first time that you competed at a Halo event and like that you looked up and you saw a crowd and you were like, fuck?
I don't know. I mean, my first like actual event was Columbus 2010, and that I just like went with a team I made like the week of, and my parents let me go, and I got like 25th, which was, you know, top 32. Like I was like, that's good. And then the next event I went to is DC, which was a few events later.
Yeah.
And that was like the first event. Reach was there, but it was like Halo 3 was still going on, but Reach was also there. Mm-hmm. So like all the pros are playing Halo 3 and stuff. It was like the combine, and probably that because I went there. My mom didn't. My parents didn't want me to go, but I went anyway.
Did you sneak out?
I didn't really sneak. It was middle of the day. My friend showed up, and I just left. I got in the car and left. And I called them like an hour in, and I was like, I'm going to DC. And they weren't happy, but...
Wait, you won that one?
Yeah, I know. Okay. My dad jokingly said, he's like they were mad, but they were like, you know, he's going. And then they realized I was staying, so they were like, giving me the whole parent talk. Yeah. My dad's like, if you don't make money, don't come back, jokingly.
Yeah.
And I made money because I won it, and I called, and I just like rubbed it in his face.
Yeah.
But probably that event because like Halo 3 was still going on, so there was like crowds there for that. But we played the finals of the combine there on main stage, like the bleachers and stuff, and we had to do the walkout, and that was the first time I had ever done it, and like the whole bleachers were full, and I was just like
nervous.
What the hell? Yeah. But then I dominated with complete ease. So.
Nice. What team was that?
I don't know what our team name was because we had to buy a pass off someone there, so we had to use their team name.
Oh shit!
So I think the team name on the pass was Vicious Intent.
Yeah.
So we just
won.
Yeah,
we won with that. That's what it was.
So.
What about you? When was the last time? What was the first time you ever?
Well, there's two. The first time that like it just kind of hit me was in 2008. Meadowlands was the first event. We sit down to play. We were like. We didn't have a good seed. We ended up placing well, but we didn't have a good seed. So we went against Straight Rippin'. And this is like split screen, like early rounds. So Straight Rippin' was like, you know, they're Straight Rippin'. Yeah, split screen, like round 3, we're playing them. And so there's a pretty big crowd. And then literally to my right is Carbon. So it's like Carbon my right, Straight Rippin' on the other side. And like you look up and because everybody wants to see both those teams play. They're in separate rounds, but everybody wants to watch them play. So that's the first time that I looked up and I was like, like there's a lot of people like
Everyone's
just
scared, watching you get
everybody's
pounded.
staring.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. And then the other time, I don't think you were there actually. In Raleigh 2010, this was when it was like actually like for me. I was on Warriors at the time, and we played against Triggers Down, and we had this like crazy comeback. Like we won Game 5, it was insane, and like we got up like after we won 50-49, like 2 seconds left, something crazy. And when I stand up and turn around, and it's on featured station, so like there's not normally a lot of people, but it was everybody just behind the
Feature
crowd.
station would randomly just
Like if there was a good match,
you wouldn't even notice.
No, if there's a good match, like it starts out nobody's there, and then if it's a good match, everybody comes, but you don't see it because it's behind you. So the second we got up and we said Game 7 and turn around, and it's just a full crowd, like more than main stage can even handle.
That's
like that big.
The only other time where like the crowd I noticed was Raleigh 2011, where we played Instinct in the finals.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. And it was like the only.
Who was on Instinct at the time?
It was like their God squad. It was like Tuger, Ola, Roy Lunch, and they had won the first two. Like
that's when when Eon sponsored them?
Were you guys? I was gonna say I didn't know if you were Eon.
Yeah, they were.
Were they?
Yeah,
that event. Yeah, and they like won the first two like events they were together. They only dropped a game.
Yeah.
And then my team, we
somehow
like we had enough points to be like the 5th seed, but we didn't hold a seed.
Yeah.
So like we were 13th pro seed because it went like you had to like. If you didn't hold the seed with the players, you like drop down and you would fill in if there was a free seed. So we were 13th seed.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting to the finals. Like we got second in our pool, so we had to come through losers, and we started top 12, and we won all our losers bracket matches.
Yeah.
Got to the finals, and then we were playing Instinct. They had only dropped a game in the last 2 tourneys, and everyone just expects us to get owned, and we're.
What team were you on at the time?
It was infamous. It was me, APG, Ryan, Newman, Blaze. Like literally 4 kids. We didn't have jerseys. Like we're wearing random like clothes.
Yeah.
And Instinct, they're like the super fucking team.
Course,
Everyone, they're like they have like the Eon jerseys. Everyone loves them.
Yeah.
And this is the only Halo tournament that year I think that went later than all the other games.
Yeah.
So the crowd was like it got huge. Like that because in 2011 they had the 3 separate main stages that were all big, and it was like everyone. And I didn't notice because Game 5 happened, and if we lost, they won like the whole thing. But if we won, it extended the series.
It was a continuation, right?
Yeah. And we ended up winning 50-48. And I'm like, we like go to like say good job and shit, and we look up and it's like the biggest crowd 2011 probably had, and I'm like, what the fuck?
No, I was there.
And then we ended up winning the tournament in like Game 10, and Pistola's mom or someone's mom was mad at the sound of. They were like, what?
You won Game 10? They won Game 11.
Won Game 10.
10?
We won 6-4.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was there, obviously.
Every game was super close.
And again, I was sitting in the crowd, and I just come over from the Call of Duty, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this is fucking massive. And at the time, I couldn't envision. Like at the time, I'm like, man, if Call of Duty ever gets to have like a crowd this big, it's gonna be like the fucking greatest feeling ever. Because I always say like I like watching everything, but Call of Duty is my game, right? That's the shit that I play, so I'm always gonna like it more. But I was like, man, one day if Call of Duty gets that big, it's gonna be like the coolest fucking shit ever, right? When did you like
see the crowd?
Yeah.
Basically.
And how is it, right? Because you're like the youngest, so you literally went from like a mod or a sub and a fucking thing to like be on the main stage and eventually winning. Like, what was your biggest win?
$1 million.
Probably
across the 4 of us.
In your fucking face.
I mean, I don't know if X Games would really count because
you won X Games.
No.
Well, we win X Games. Good one.
We
You got silver, right?
Yeah. We choked.
Yeah. So I wouldn't really count that.
But
rigged. That was like people were like rooting for us.
Yeah.
But like regionals was the next event. At Columbus, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean that crowd was like pretty big, so I guess like there's a lot of people cheering for us then.
So that
was, like,
No, they were booing
tournament.
us. We 4-0'd EG, and when I walked across Sega Games, I literally got booed.
Did you really?
That's from right to left. I got booed.
They had a lot of fans.
You just like left them, right? Left a snake. What was?
I mean,
sorry, a sniper, snipe down.
Snipe down. Yeah.
I mean, it probably doesn't help that we won, and I stood up and chanted 4-0.
4-0.
but
well, they
still
had a lot
booed
of
me.
They had a lot of friends and stuff.
Yeah,
there. That's why we got
like,
booed.
Yeah, they have a lot of people who like they have
like
people
family
who come,
family member,
stuff, who, like,
family
come
and
to events
friends
with them, and, like support them. So probably didn't help, but
It didn't help that Matt.
I'm the victim.
It didn't help that
Yeah,
Matt.
you're the
story,
victim,
so-
bro. Yo, you're good now. You're part of the good guys.
Yeah, now you're good. It didn't help that
I'm
Matt.
always a good guy in my story.
Matt ended the game, the 4-0 of him just teabagging Lunchbox for
because my
30
call
for
was-
30 seconds
He
straight.
killed him and jumped off catwalk because I said, "Get on that body."
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
We were a little bitter about losing X Games. So when we
Yeah,
played him at
'Cause it was
regionals,
rigged.
Tell me, why?
storyline.
All right, we like X Games was. Well, there was roster lock for Worlds
Where
and region.
was X? Was that at
Aspen?
Aspen, yeah.
Aspen, by the way, crazy.
I love
place
it. Yeah, I
ever.
love it. I was
Crazy.
there for
It
for
is
the,
not real.
for the Counter-Strike X.
That
Games.
place is.
It's not real.
Oh God.
You're not in
Not
the real world.
It's literally
when you're
Narnia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So roster lock for like regionals and worlds, like the whole world championship stuff was like the 25th, I think, because that was the last day for the qualifier, which was also my birthday.
Yep.
It's like the last qualifier, and I left EG on the 23rd.
Ooh.
So that happens, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. I remember
Obviously,
all
they're
of
gonna be like mad and all that stuff. and then
Hurricane lethal.
Yeah, so I leave. 2 days later, there's the last online qualifier for Worlds. We beat EG in semis, game 5.
Yep.
So there was that, and then by X Games, which was like 6 teams only,
Yep.
like invite, was the 29th through 31st. So like literally the wound is raw for me leaving. So
Yeah.
X Games was like randomly announced too,
Yeah,
right?
it
Like
was
we didn't
literally-
know.
it was announced
Yeah.
like the week
Before.
before I left.
Yeah,
because
like, 'cause
I,
I was
knew,
gonna-
I knew X Games was a thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
got,
go
like, a
there.
2-week notice.
Yeah. I was gonna say because
we go
I
there and we're in their pool because there's only 6 teams. We 3-0 them like
in pool
easy,
play, yeah.
easy. And then bracket goes through. We make it to the finals. They make it to the finals, and we were bad. We choked. We played so bad.
Clap jinxed us.
Yeah,
MLG Adam.
Yeah,
We didn't
Adam-
drop a game the whole time
Yeah.
until the finals, and he saw us before the finals, and he said, "Are you guys gonna lose a game this tournament?"
No.
And we're like, we're just like, well, I mean, we hope not, or something like
played
that.
so
And then we played so
We lost
bad
in
in
game
we played
7.
so
Yeah.
bad.
And
I know, I
we lost in game
remember.
7, and like the way it was, like the booth was like one
Oh,
giant
dude.
booth, and it's like there was a wall in between. And when they won, they literally were pounding on the wall.
I have nightmares.
And I'm just like, God.
I have
of
no-
course, I can't just win this. Like I'm like
Yeah.
I can't just have anything.
I have nightmares thinking about that. Like that was the worst. That was
Oh,
like
no,
one
the
of,
worst
That's
part
a-
is like,
dude.
it's
oh
like
my god.
I'm not a sore. We aren't sore losers. Like I'm
No,
not a sore.
we're really
even
not.
We lost
People
we lost
think we are, but we're really
we lost
not.
season 2 finals like in game 7 to
Yeah.
Envy, and like we just
walk
yeah
over,
we just
fist
we
bump,
yeah
and
we
we're
just
good.
do we do the same thing as we do when we win.
See you at the
Yeah.
next one.
Except we're the losers in this scenario.
Yeah.
So we're like, God, of course. But then we lose and we go out of the booth, and Snipe Down had friends there in real life, like afterwards, like
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
personally shit talking me, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
But the worst part was after we lost, we couldn't just like go back to the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And by hotel, like the condos or whatever they
Yeah,
kept us in. We literally had to do a medal
Oh my
ceremony,
God.
Yeah.
the medal ceremony
Yeah, of
thing,
course.
and it was
it
like
was
3 hours.
It was 2
So
hours
for, like,
in the freezing
2 to
cold.
3 hours, we had to like mingle with like EG, who it's like,
on
Yeah.
Cloud
They're,
9.
Yeah.
they're like super
and
happy,
like
yeah.
Allegiance, who got 3rd.
Yeah.
And we had
Oh,
literally
and
had to like,
I was super
Yeah,
sick
he was-
in-
we had
in
to,
the-
yeah.
in the
Oh, he
snow,
was so
too.
sick.
Dude, and
the
then
whole
you have to
weekend.
like
I had a backpack full of tissues.
yeah.
Ooh.
I had to talk to
Nasty.
dude talking to Roy and Lunch because like have you ever met Roy and Lunch
No, of
before?
course, yeah, remember?
They're like they're super nice
Yeah,
people. Like
yeah.
Roy and Lunch probably
And
two of
when
the
someone beats you and they're nice to you, you want
yeah
to punch
they're
them in
two
the-
of the nicest people in the
Yeah.
entire world,
Yeah, they
100%.
are,
And like
1000%.
they're talking to us and they're just being so nice and we just lost and I'm like, dude, like this is like just the I just think in my head like
Yeah,
this is the, like
it's-
stop
it's
like
punishment.
stop being
Torture.
stop
Yeah.
being nice.
So,
like
like,
I'm
it-
supposed to hate you right now.
Yeah.
Like this isn't
Like,
a
we
thing.
wanted to leave, and we're like, can we just
Oh,
like
yeah.
not get the medals like right now? Or,
No,
like,
no.
Dude, we
like,
had to
they made
wait-
us,
You have
and
to
it was, like,
man
in the
3
freezing
hours.
cold, we had to sit there for like an hour and a
thing-
half.
The thing there too, and this just happened in ESWC, something that should never be done is interview the losers, right? In an award ceremony, in a competition like the X Games and Olympics, like yeah, of course you have to get up there and get that right. But to put you on the spot after you lost, like you're not in the right mindset. You're just lost.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
that
a
is
good
the
loser,
worst.
but I wouldn't. like,
I hated the ESWC when they were interviewing the losers. Like when they
Oh,
interviewed,
I hate
when
it.
they
Seems
interviewed,
so lame to
Yeah,
me.
when
people-
they interviewed
yeah.
Clayster, I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like,
and then people get
don't do
mad at
that.
like Clayster. It's like I'm a good
Unwarranted.
loser. I'm a good
Yeah.
loser, but
don't put me on the spot.
like if in an interview, like
Yeah, no.
I can like accept a loss and man up and just like say good game and move on. But like
On my terms.
yeah, like as long as nobody's bothered, like I don't want to talk to people right after I lose anyway. Like if a fan came up or something.
Yeah.
Most fans are good about that. Like not.
The interviewer was harsh too. Like he wasn't just like, "How do you feel about the loss?" He was like, "Was OpTic just better than you?" Or something like that. And it's like you hear someone say that after you lost, and you're just like,
"They are 100% more skilled than you at this game."
Yeah. No, it was horrendous, man. I won't get into anything more on ASWC, but I was just like, fuck. And they've always done that. And it's just, like, it's painful. It's not something that you want to do.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Especially, at least give it time to
give it like
rest.
a day. Like an hour or something.
Yeah.
Give them some
like
time.
an hour to just reset.
Yeah.
All right. So before that, when was it that you teamed with Formal right before he came to OpTic to play?
It was like when MCC came out. They had like the launch invitational thing. It was I think he like joined OpTic the week before.
He did
because actually I just remembered that tweet. The OpTic Gaming Twitter tweeted like because we won and said like congrats. I think me, Nick, and Brad joked about it a while ago. It said like congrats to OpTic Formal and teammates for winning, and we're just like we're teammates, guys. That's us, teammates. See in the tweet, teammates. That's us three.
That was me. I was the one that tweeted
yeah,
that.
we're teammates.
Yeah.
But it was like early November, right before the game came out, like the weekend before.
Yeah, that was the first time I met Formal. I mean, no, I mean I've talked to him and met him before.
Yeah, he was like on Envy and then joined OpTic.
Yeah.
In like the week before the tournament because he had like the seed they gave like the captain to like specific people and they could pick their team and he's obviously good friends with like me, Nick, and Brad. We're all good friends from Halo and stuff.
Yep.
So that was our team and we ended up just randomly going. We were just like let's just go and like it's an invitational, game's not out yet, let's try to do good and like have fun, and we ended up just winning and have fun, so that worked.
Yeah, Nick won a championship.
One of two.
That
with he didn't both. Remember.
Yeah, he never remembered.
The other night.
How good was Formal when in Halo?
Well,
like, how long did you compete with him or against him? Like in what period of span?
Well, I probably know Matt like longer than most people and stuff because he was kind of like in the same boat as me. He like played online and people knew him from online. People knew me from online and stuff, just like from playlists, but he never went to tournaments either. He went to like one tournament, Anaheim 2009, and he got like 31st.
Yeah, and Halo 3.
And that's like all he went to in Halo 3. And then I only went to Columbus 2010, but he got on a pro team for Reach just right in the beginning. He was on like Break's team. So he went pro like
they found him in matchmaking.
We literally, me and Matt went through like the same timeline.
Yeah.
So he went pro in like early 2009, and he was like, it was weird. He went from like, he was like, people knew he was good. He was good enough to be a pro, like top like 8, top 6 player. And then like the third event of Reach, Anaheim, he was on BTH with Nick, Ryan Eben Blaze.
Yep.
And he went from like being good to God. I don't know what happened because that event he was like
unstoppable.
Unstoppable. And from then on,
Nick taught him.
Yeah, apparently. Nick probably takes full credit.
Let me find out Nick's son fucking Formal.
He had to have.
Did you ever play against Formal?
Yeah, so he went pro.
that Anaheim event.
Yeah,
actually,
we beat them.
Somehow
we reverse swept them. So he was only pro. I was pro in Halo 3. He went pro in Halo Reach. So like all of Reach, we competed against each other. I mean, we probably played each other 2 or 3 times. I think he won one of them, and I think I won 2 of them. I mean, he was by far like a top 10 individual player.
I would say the last like 3 events, from like the last 3 events of 2011 on, he was like minimum top 5 like individual like skill like sniper shot like all that
individual
type of
skill wise. Like if someone says like Formal is like top 5, you're like like probably.
There was probably a main point in like 2011 where like the top 3 people would say like Roy, Pistola, and Formal, because Formal kind of like.
He was flashy.
Yeah.
He was good, and he was
really
flashy.
flashy. His stats were good and stuff. So like, people, I don't know, like the event they won, Orlando 2011, which was right after Raleigh, they beat us in the finals, and he solo carried. He like pounded us super hard.
Yeah.
Pounded my teammates. I did good.
Yeah.
They got what'd they get at Nats? Because we beat them. Top 6?
I don't know. I didn't go to that tournament.
Oh yeah.
That event didn't happen.
That's my bad, man. Yeah. So we beat that.
Top 6.
Damn, I beat you and Matt.
I didn't go.
No, it counts. Yeah,
I mean, I still beat your team. I beat your team at least.
You still didn't, why did you forfeit? Can we talk about that or no?
I was sick. Nah, I wouldn't. We had got first, then second,
Yeah.
and then we got top 12.
It's our fault though. Like I actually
It's
take
literally
it's,
their
it's
fault.
our fault.
Like you guys are
we
so
lost.
bad.
We
that
lost to
you're,
the
that
team.
You ruined it.
Yeah, we lost. We were like, what seed were we? Like 4th seed. Like we were like, because we got 3rd the event before.
I think we were. I think we were third. I think we were third seed.
Yeah, I think we were
And
like 3rd seed.
Yeah.
Top 5.
So they lost. They made the bracket.
They lost.
final.
They
Yeah,
lost some
basically.
shitters.
No,
And
they
then
were the best. They would if they
that
played.
series,
They were the
like-
best players I've ever seen. We lost to a team called Active Rush. They were
They were like a team.
They were in top
12,
8.
top 8, like
Yeah.
that type.
I
of
don't
team.
even think
And
they were getting
apparently
top
They
8.
were God mode and pounded them,
Yeah.
and then we had
We
to
got
play them
pounded.
for top 8, and we lost.
No, like we got pounded. Like it wasn't close. Like we got destroyed, and it was like one of those like
On
this.
purpose?
No, we tried to say it was on purpose because we lost to them. We had a 3-1 lead. The event before we had a 3-1 lead
In losers
in
finals,
losers
'cause that's when
finals.
they did continuation series. 'Cause
yeah.
they beat us in pool play.
Yeah.
And they came back and beat us in losers
We beat 'em in
finals.
game
so
11.
in game 11. So we tried to spin it that we lost on purpose
What
to
did
beat them for top 8.
What did you guys do during the hiatus of Halo professional like gameplay? I mean, obviously you were spectating streams and on the come up, but like, what did you guys do? Because it must have been like sucky to go from like the esport and consoles to like a complete hiatus.
Well, we had that event in 2012, the Columbus, which was like one of the best events we ever gone to.
For sure.
Shout out to Adam for teasing us and saying if the Halo community shows up, there will be more. We have the best turnout we could possibly have. They had to add more passes.
1,000 FFA passes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and you know.
Never showed up.
Yeah,
Never did.
Thanks for that.
Didn't happen.
Yeah,
Didn't
we had that event. That was a really good event. And then after that, there was like nothing.
So what did you guys do during that time?
I got a job.
Was there an underground community during the time where people still competing like just on ladders?
After like 2012 to like Halo 4?
Yeah.
Not really.
Well,
That
like
wasn't even AGL.
there wasn't?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they were like, what are they called? AGLs?
Yeah, like AGLs, which was just like some random league started up by like someone in the Halo community, and that was like Halo 4 though.
Yeah,
So,
so-
like for like a year there was like nothing, like 2012 till like when Halo 4 came out, which was like the very very end of 2012, I think, maybe like something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the year it came out.
What was that?
2012
Yeah,
is that when
it
Halo
came
4
Halo
came
4?
out?
No, like
2013.
2013.
I feel like
Jeez.
I feel like it came
thought
out the end of 2012. Yeah.
Like December.
Maybe.
I
I
think it
maybe.
did.
I don't know.
What
So,
did
like,
you?
that year there was nothing. I didn't do anything. I played League of Legends with Nick Formal. I was in a Skype call every day, probably.
Nick played League of Legends.
Yeah.
Nick played League of Legends.
You know how Nick's been grinding H1Z1?
yes, like that.
Yes.
Like that, but for like a year.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
So like every day for like 8 months or whatever, me, Formal, APG, Maniac, we were just sitting in a Skype call, just waiting for, you know, our lives to fucking get going.
Unfolded shit.
Nothing happened. And then AGLs popped up, and there was like the underground tournaments for that for Halo 4, and that's where like Formal kind of got more of his event wins in Halo, because he doesn't have like that many event wins.
He only
has
had
like one real event
well,
win in
2
Halo.
if you count the invitational.
Yeah, two. I do count the invitational.
I get so pissed thinking about the fact that we had Formal on the podcast, and I didn't fucking ask him like his transition and how the storyline. Like I would like. I mean, we'll leave it for some other time, but I wish I would have asked him like what his transition must have been like, because it had to have been tough, right? Because you're coming from Halo, and then you work your way up. You're on Team Fear, and then on fucking TK, I think, and then you just work your way up like to a certain spot. Like
He's the king of just the come up story.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, he's good and he networks really well. That's just
Yeah.
that's
and he's a
something that-
likable fucking
Yeah,
dude.
100%.
And he's
100%.
good.
Like
He's alright.
I don't think there's ever been a time where I've been with him where I'm like I'm fucking bored. You know what I'm saying? It's like a game of make him laugh, because once he starts laughing, then everybody's fucking happy. All right, so now onto a more serious topic. Where is Halo right now in your opinion, and where is it go? Like what are some of the faults and some of the improvement areas that you guys see? Because I need to know, because if I am in a position to be an advocate for you guys, I'm obviously going to do that, you know. So
Well, I guess I'll
Frosty,
look at
hit me,
Who's
Frosty.
going
What do
fir-
you think?
who's
You're
going
the,
first?
You're the youngest, the youngin.
They got the brains. Let them.
Wait,
them
so
rolling.
you got.
Let me
got
ask
some
you,
good
what
input. You're
is the-
harsh.
okay,
You're
so-
harsh when you say it, but
Yeah. So look, really quick, when you won your 250, right? What was the first thing that you bought? Because how old were you? Like last year, right? So 18.
It's only like
18,
it was like what are the dates? Like March 20th.
Yeah.
It was the 18th through the 20th. 18th through the 20th.
Yeah.
So it was like almost a year, exactly a year ago. So I don't know. We got our money at a tournament. We didn't get because like obviously you don't get paid right away.
Yeah.
We didn't get paid until season 1 finals.
Yeah.
Which was
How many months
the end
after?
of July.
Okay.
So
Was it like 6
Yeah.
or less?
April, May, June, July. So,
so like 4.
4 months.
Oh, 4.
All right. So anyway, what it was the first? Like you got this fucking money, and then you're like, holy shit, I'm 18. I'm about to go get a fucking buck.
I mean, I did buy a car, but I'm not sure if that was like my first big purchase.
Damn. What's a bigger purchase than a car? You bought a yacht, motherfucker?
Well, no, I was just thinking like, because I bought like a computer, so I don't know if that counted. But I mean, the biggest purchase was my car.
Yeah, your car. Yeah. What about you? Saved it?
Yeah, I didn't.
He's a chump. Dude.
Yeah.
He's a,
You got short arms and deep pockets?
Yeah, I haven't really spent.
it took
any of
him 3 days of going through our whole Skype group asking questions to buy a $300 watch.
Okay,
Is that
let's.
Sick of him.
Yeah,
I'm
this
sick
is
of him,
it.
guys.
All right, listen. There's a difference between not wanting to spend money and wanting to be smart with money.
Yeah.
And
no, there's
1,000%.
not.
And when I say I don't know if I want to buy this
this
because I
argument.
don't know if I want it that bad or not.
Yeah.
Like that's not me being like
Nothing at
stingy.
all.
That's
There's
not being.
nothing wrong with
That's not being
frugal, man.
stingy.
No, not at all.
This guy spend
Well,
it
if you
all.
have to question if you want it or not, don't get it. But I mean, you have it.
Don't
so you
question
failed.
it.
I
Just
bought it.
question.
I bought it. I mean, I'm glad I bought it, but I bought it because TJ literally said, "Dude, just buy it.
Yeah.
Stop talking about it. Just buy
Well,
it."
listen,
I was like, "All right."
There's being
for
frugal,
sure.
and then there's you need to spend money right now before I get mad.
Yeah, he had me get it because he told me to get it because he was mad that I hadn't spent like any money
Anything.
before.
Like,
There's nothing wrong with that, bro. Don't let anybody fucking shame you into that. What about you? What did you do? You fucking maniac.
I'm really not that crazy.
No, he's not.
I'm really not.
He's
like,
all talk.
I'm
He's
all-
literally
I am
all talk.
but like
I've probably. spent
I'm like
most.
frugal
100%.
sometimes, and then sometimes like I'm just
Yeah.
You know,
You're bipolar.
I like to. Well, I use it to have fun. I
Yeah.
like to have fun,
Yeah.
but,
Like
I don't like to have fun a lot.
Yeah.
So
Fun costs a lot.
yeah, I get my fun. I binge my fun.
Yeah.
So Vegas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
mean-
Gambling. Oh,
Well, you know-
you bought a car, right?
I got a car, but I'm a scumbag, and I decided to help my sister. So
There's
I gave,
nothing wrong with that. What do you mean a scumbag? That's a good thing that you did.
Nah, I gave her some money for some type of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, I gave her that, and then I gave my mom my parents the same amount, and then
Yeah.
I got.
Well, that's fucking good, man. Like, don't be ashamed of that.
I could have went to Vegas though.
Yeah, so yeah,
It's 2
yeah,
Vegas
of course.
trips.
Yeah, so
Yeah, there's always that
I
guilt,
gave my sister
right,
and my
where you-
parents some money, and then I ended up getting myself a car. I got. I spent $24,000 on that.
Yeah.
So, and then besides that, I just, I did that smart stuff with like
Investing.
IRAs and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
well, good.
Some in that, and then
Because that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Man, and it's a windfall, right? It's a literal. I mean, you obviously, right? It comes in a bulk, and it's like all at once. So it's
literally
hard.
we got it like pre.
It's hard to be. It's harder to do what you did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is just like be smart with
Yeah.
your money than just like if I'm his age, I'm fucking spending the whole thing.
Well, yeah, like we
You
got
know
it.
what I'm
Like
saying? You can go broke all the way until you're fucking 40 and then still come out alive.
100%.
Ours was.
It just depends on the
We got it
situation.
literally in bulk, like not taxed already or anything. Like just
Yeah, I invested probably. Like
we got like $235,000 like in the bank account overnight.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
Like we were at season 1 finals, and his mom.
That was the
texted
worst
him.
time. That was the worst
His
time to
mom
get
texted
it
him
ever.
at 5 a.m. the day before we play, like
Yeah.
Friday night, like,
Yeah.
going into Saturday.
No, it was in the morning.
In the
Like
morning,
5:00 in the
Yeah,
morning,
saying,
Saturday.
Your money came.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What?" And it was that money. He
That was.
texted us, and we all
Imagine
checked,
trying to
and
be
we're like,
motivated to play like 4 hours later when you just realized that you got that money deposited in
I
your
didn't
bank
even,
account.
Like look at your text. I just like randomly checked my bank account. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
what do we buy?
It still surprises you though, right? Like
Yeah.
even though you have it, but once you see those numbers, you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
between, like
100%.
knowing you want it and like it's yours.
Seeing it. 100%.
And then there's another difference when you gotta pay taxes.
Yeah, no, of course. When
Saddest
is
day of my
the
life.
when is the major? What's the championships?
March 23rd,
24th.
25th.
Is it 24th through 26th?
Yeah.
I think it's
so
24th,
immediately after MLG Dallas.
Is MLG Dallas the weekend before? I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
16,
Yeah, we have Vegas third through fifth.
Yeah.
There's Dallas, and then
Yeah, we go to Vegas to try to qualify or to attempt to qualify, and then after that would be Worlds
there's
2,
there's no
2.5.
voice. There's only doing. Okay.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying, Frost?
He doesn't know what you're saying.
You always keep it super mellow. You never say I'm gonna go do this. You just fucking.
I was
show up.
gonna say
like,
do your
formal at
fucking job.
ESWC, like he was getting crazy too, and he was at Atlanta.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, I wonder if there's that side of him that we just haven't seen yet, because you know
He's
how
too-
formal's
he's too
always
young.
like he's normally like really
Yeah.
chill or whatever, and then randomly he just is popping off.
Oh, dude, it was the best.
I'm waiting to see him pop off.
It's not. It wasn't even that. Is the fact that yeah, he was different. Yeah, he was super hype. But the fact that like he was smiling the whole time, that just made the tournament that much more enjoyable to watch. You know, like sometimes I watch them and they're fucking losing, and I see the stresses and the fucking frustrations, and then I get into that fucking mood where I'm just like, man, my boys are fucking feeling bad. Like I feel bad.
Bad vibes.
Yeah, bad vibes. It's
As Nick would say, he can feel the energy.
As Nick would say, you can feel the energy. And I you know, this tournament, I was fucking like, holy shit. You know, it was very, very fucking good. Anyway, so where do you, Halo, really quick. Not really quick, but hit us.
I think Halo's in a very, very weird point where we have the funding for the most part from the developers and stuff. Granted, I think that it's a mistake not doing crowdfunding for the $1 million tournament like they did last year. I won't understand that.
They literally announced it, and that's all we heard.
Yeah.
That's all anyone heard.
Yeah.
They announced it at like season 2 finals, and that's the last anyone's heard of it. So unless they're randomly gonna hit us with some like bump right before,
No, it's not. It's gonna be it's at $1 million, 100%. They're not gonna bump it up or anything.
$1 million.
I just think Halo's at this weird point where the game itself is good. It doesn't feel like traditional Halo, but the game itself is good.
Yeah.
Like we enjoy it. But honestly, like just promotion wise, we don't do a good job of it. And then just the longevity of the game, like online, it will go through weeks where like it's just not stable at all. And like playing it is like,
When you say stable, you mean like the servers?
like the servers and matchmaking will just be like terrible, and like you lose people there already.
Like it won't even matter like if how your connection is, because the servers will randomly be bad, and I'm talking like you'll be shooting someone, it'll be fine, and then randomly they'll be running into the wall for 5 seconds, and then it all just goes back to what it was, and you're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And then you can't play like that.
No,
so.
of course not.
I don't know. I mean, I think we're definitely not in the worst spot we've ever been.
No, not at all.
Like the AGL days and stuff. It was like.
Well,
It was
but
crazy,
you guys
but-
as professionals, you guys have to look at it differently, right? Because you can't just be like, look, we're getting a fucking paycheck,
Yeah,
and we're
no,
getting
it's-
fucking money, right? Because that's just like today problems.
No,
Right?
100%.
Today,
Yeah.
you know, so you guys' input to the developers about what the fuck is going on, that will show them that, you know, we're in this shit together.
The frustrating
you know,
thing is
we
like
definitely try to give them as much.
the frustrating thing is like we give our input on like settings and all that stuff. Like we try like as much as we can when they ask us for that stuff. But the frustrating thing is like the simple stuff that I feel can be done better, like the promoting of like
A tournament or
of like
just
like even like
anything.
the tournaments like aren't even promoted as well as they could. And I'm talking like the use of like Twitter and stuff. Like
yeah.
I have a Twitter account. I could like give me that password, and I'm telling you
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I'm pretty good at tweeting.
Yeah.
All right. If it's one of my skills, and like just like you have social media stuff, I feel like they use that 10% of what they should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the tournaments and stuff, promote that, and then just like they even have like online streams like of like they've had weekly,
Like online
they've had,
tournament or
weekly,
something?
like seeding tournaments leading up into Vegas because you got points based off St. Louis placings, and then they've had like they just finished the last one. They've had like weekly seeding tournaments for Vegas for like AM teams and like pro teams as well, and like they don't tweet any of those out. Like they don't even like promote those, and I'm just like those are like weekly. They're like on Halo. They're like through Halo.
Yeah.
Like those are weekly streams that like why aren't you even just promoting like that type of stuff? Because
actually
it's like
never,
it's
like,
consistent
for sure.
tournaments, and it's like new viewers can see that.
I think the thing that like we get most annoyed about is like we try to do like what you said, like we give them more credit or not more credit, more criticism than literally like more people know, and we try to be super professional with it because the last thing you want to do, and that's something that a lot of people don't get, is like you don't want to publicly bash the thing you're trying to grow. Like we used,
I thought Halo was never coming back. So
like I've definitely been
crazy.
guilty of it, of like just publicly bashing it and whatever, and it just doesn't get anywhere. So like we try to privately talk to them and have these meetings or conferences or whatever, and honestly, like there's no progression like at all, and that's probably the most frustrating thing is like we're trying to build something together, and the critiques that we give are very simple, like
it's just frustrating anything like, where you're trying to like make progress and you feel like you're putting in effort and like nothing is happening and you're just like well,
what sort of small things?
I mean, just like settings in general, right?
I mean, anywhere from settings to just like a simple rule. Like this past event.
Oh yeah, the ruling.
Yeah, one of the worst rulings we've seen is that this past event was supposed to be for seeding. So we got first seed going into Vegas, but there's 2 teams that got top 8, but because they don't have a pro league seed, they're still considered AM teams now for the upcoming event, which makes no sense considering that this tournament coming up or the Halo World Championship has nothing to do with Pro League at all, and like everybody says something about it, and it's just like we hear your feedback.
When I say something's rigged, I'm always kidding, except like if you were an outsider and you were to say like it seems rigged for like pro teams, it would be, because like those teams that didn't have pro seeds through Pro League got like good seeds or if you did have a Pro League seed, you got a good starting seed for St. Louis, which makes sense because there was nothing to seed you.
Yeah.
But afterwards, you would think it would just be seeded off the tournament, and Inconceivable comes through AM and gets 6th place.
It's 6th place, yeah. They could have won the event and they'd still be an AM team.
Like that's they could have won the tournament and still had to go through AM.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Exactly. So
and so I guess it is the small things that
and then like
small things like that.
And then I get super frustrated because like I'll try to be vocal about it, and then the community's mad at pro players, or they will be mad occasionally at pro players because they think that we're not voicing our opinions, and kind of like you said, like we're just taking a paycheck or letting it all slide by, when in reality we're just trying to do it in a professional way that isn't going to just hurt the scene. Because a lot of what Halo's turned into is just people bashing everything. Yeah. It's not, nobody looks at the positive, everybody just looks at the negatives. Yeah. So that's the hardest part for us, is those critiques, and then seeing people. There's nothing worse than you caring a lot and people saying that you don't care. Yeah. When in reality, we're trying super hard.
We went through that too, right? For years we didn't bash as hard as we just recently did on that, but. For years we kept our mouth shut. We did the thing that you guys are doing, and I'm not saying that at some point you have to do this in order to get shit done, but it sometimes does help. It sometimes does move the needle in the right direction, and it ultimately helps. I personally think that Halo is one of the staples of console esports, and just like anything else, right? Anything that's beautiful, you have to nurture it and take care of it. Otherwise, it's just like anything else. It's a mortal thing. It can die and not come back. And the fact that the developers let it die or let it go on a hiatus for as long as they did, like those are strike fucking two. Like how many more times can professional Halo players? I mean, look, they lost Formal, right? Like now Formal's playing Call of Duty. Imagine how much good he would have done if they had that sort of athlete on this, right? And this is something that they should be afraid of, because you guys are in the same position. Somebody as young as him can one day say, you know what, man, I tried my best. I won fucking tournaments in Halo. I was a good ambassador of the game, but I'm gonna go play this other big one. I mean, Seth said it himself. He's like, I don't want to play Call of Duty. Maybe I just want to go play Halo and try my luck there, right? And it wasn't good, right? Like it wasn't a good thing to say. It's not good for the community to hear that. But at the same time, like you can see the frustration, and these are these are things that can happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they can afford to maybe fuck up the game a little bit, but they cannot afford to lose the stars that make their esport, right? Because it helps with sales, no matter how much they said that it doesn't, no matter how much these people say, well, esports is like fucking 0.4% of their actual revenue. It fucking matters, okay? Because if it didn't matter, they wouldn't have that much of a hissy fit when people complain about it.
It's just frustrating. Like it's just annoying when small things that can be fixed don't get fixed. So.
Yeah, especially when there's just so much potential there. I mean, we had the $2.5 million tournament. Everything's looking up, and then everything.
Last year, it's just especially when things are going right. Yeah. And it's all like you're like, all right, they got it. We got it. Things are going well, and then like
$1 million
goes
tournament,
back to,
everything's
like,
going
yeah,
great,
just
and
throw it at a
then
wall, there's no
game,
progress.
the servers become terrible online, and they release by far the
and
worst.
It, like, undoes the work that was
Yeah,
being done.
and they
It's,
release
like,
by far
back to step one.
the worst settings I've ever, like, it's better now, but
Yeah.
it was by far the worst settings, like not competitive at all.
But my question is, and I obviously I'm good friends with obviously Bravo and the people that work for the game that used to be pros at one point. Do they not have any fucking input in this? What is it?
It's minimal.
I mean, they have somewhat of input, but if I'm being honest, it's the corporate chain. Like, if we say that something needs to be changed, that doesn't mean, like, there's a gun that's stupid in a game just because we think it's stupid.
Yeah.
The developers or the game testers or whoever it is, like, want to see it in because that's what makes Halo 5, when in reality it's just stupid and nobody wants it in, but they think it needs to be in there to make their
And
game.
when you have
course.
a meeting with every pro, like, saying no, it's just like, and like we played like 2 other, because like that's what they did. They had like guns, and we did 2 other test settings before it, and
Yeah.
it didn't work. And we're like, we tried, like we actually did, and it doesn't work. But then they're like, all right, well, it's gonna get put in anyway, and we're just like,
The thing there too, and I always like not defend them, but I always give the reasoning that look, as an artist, you create this thing. You set out to put out a video game. You never expected it to turn into a fucking sport.
Yeah.
Right. And to have athletes within that thing, but I get it, right? But they're still under the same mentality of like gaming, right? Of gaming and esports, two different things,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And the developers, like, as much as they created the game, and the artists that they created this beautiful storyline and this fun like game. Look, you didn't ask for it. We didn't ask for it. It became an esport. Okay, make the proper adjustments. Be able to pivot. Be flexible. Don't break it. Just be flexible enough to say, you know what? Yeah, we'll let this fucking gun be used by the casuals, right? If your casuals are the guys that are buying the game and it's the majority of your revenue, I get it. Fine, cater to them for sure, but don't enforce shit that you want to see them use on the fucking professionals.
And then don't say that you got the pros feedback and that's why you release the settings, because that's another. That's one of that is.
we literally got scapegoated.
Yeah, almost every
They're like,
setting.
Settings with the input of professional players.
Yeah.
And we're just like, I did not do that.
Have they done?
That's happened multiple times, and literally the input is they'll give us like 3 changes or like 2 changes, and you go to them and you say like these are horrible, like it's not competitive, like you can't.
literally have to
like in the call, I think I said this is not like you can't do this.
We have to like bargain like some changes. We have to take the worst changes out and keep some of
the
exact
decisions, and then they make us choose one.
Yeah,
Like,
the exact word is like well. Like, we get that you don't like it, but like something's gonna change. So if you had to pick one, which one would it be?
It shouldn't work that way.
Yeah,
because it's a fucking setting.
Exactly.
It's not like you can't not. I don't know.
Yeah,
because
trust me.
I've gone through it.
I've made that
can-
exact sound before.
and I can see like your frustration, because I'm getting frustrated just fucking hearing about it, because I've been through it. Right, I've been through this specific thing. Anyway, we're at the hour mark, but I wanna hear, like, if you can have anything changed from Halo esports, what would it be? One thing. Pick one thing. If you have two.
Just the settings for now.
Settings for now.
Yeah.
You go next. I gotta think of one.
Make better use of marketing the game and just getting exposure, because it's all half-assed right now.
I would change the process that things are done, because at least for competing, at least from an esports standpoint, it's very clear like what needs to be done in settings. It kind of just goes to like what you said with settings or any decisions in general. It's like everyone just kind of tiptoes around, at least in my opinion, around changes that need to be made, or like even people that work there will agree with us, but like, the higher up that works there doesn't, and like wants this over that. And it's like, well, if you have a full community of people that agree that this change needs to happen, like that change needs to happen.
Of course.
Especially
like, what the fuck do you care? You're not playing it. You can still sell your game the way that you want it, but change something.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me how it has to be so fucking black and white with developers. You know what I'm saying? Look, there has to be some fucking crazy ass shit that I'm not seeing. Okay, but I've been around for a long enough time to understand business and to understand like do's and don'ts. Sell the shit that you want to sell to the casuals. Let the pros decide what the fuck they want to compete, especially when they are all in agreement.
Yeah. That's the worst part, is that for the most part, every single person agrees. like this.
It's like
rarely,
a
like,
Yeah.
there's rarely like an outlier or two, and like other than that, it's pretty unanimous a lot of the time.
Unbelievable. I say that, but at least we have company in Call of Duty. All right, we're all in the same, but we at least we have company in the misery sometimes that is to get something that is, in our opinion, super easy to like
stream on Twitch.
Stream on Twitch. You guys don't stream on Twitch?
No, well, with Call of Duty, like the whole like not streaming on Twitch thing.
Yeah, no.
I guess so, in a way.
That in particular, like I get it. At some point or another, every esport is going to go through that particular thing.
Yeah.
There's like that Beam website. I think they got bought by Microsoft, so I'm like low key scared.
Beam?
You know
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
No.
Beam. It's like a whole nother streaming site. It's like
Look.
It got
It's
bought by
going to
Microsoft,
happen.
and I was like, well,
It's going to happen. It's going to continue to happen. TV rights and broadcasting rights have been around since the beginning of sports.
Yeah.
And the more this becomes a spectator sport, which it already is, but the more it becomes bigger and more mainstream, that's going to happen. It's bound to happen. So don't be surprised when it does, because it is going to get here. And it'll be a couple of years before people understand the reasoning. It'll be a couple of years of hardship. The only thing that sucks is that we've already been through that for several years. So to add more shit on top of shit,
on top of
it's look. It at some point or another is going to be needed in order for the esport to survive. You know what I'm saying? So, obviously, Counter-Strike is going through it right now with YouTube doing the ESL thing and the ESL Pro League and Twitch still being involved in some of the like. It's gonna happen.
It's chaos right now.
It's chaos. It will continue to, and see comfort in the fact that you guys are not alone, right? Every esport's going through it. Any closing comments that you guys want to say? You guys?
No.
I'm fucking done.
No, nothing really. Just thank you to all the Greenwall fans. Honestly, I think this is the first time that we've all actually like been on a podcast together. Like I don't think we've all done like a vision interview
They
together.
normally just see us in like, small clips.
Like usually like you just see us in a stream or something.
Yeah.
So thank you to all the fans. Obviously we haven't gotten to talk to as many people as we'd like to. So hopefully now we could start since we're all at the house. So thank you,
Absolutely.
Halo community. Thank you, and Greenwall again. Thanks.
Shout out to my stream viewers, just so you guys don't roast me.
Just the only reason. My man's Frosty. When are you gonna stream with the webcam, brother? Why?
I said if I get 500 subs, I'll turn it on, but until then, no one gets to see me.
Just put a black rectangle over where he was sitting this whole time. So
that's cool. Hey, look, man, I get it. I now that I know why, then you're good. You want to reward them. You're being a mysterious creature that only is. You're like an Easter egg.
After watching him stream with no webcam, I get it. Like.
You get what?
Like streaming with no webcam, but like.
Wait, what?
I just get it. I get why he likes it. Like, there's no one sees you. You do whatever you want. You just kind of.
You see me streaming.
Yeah.
I'm literally like.
It's just it's more relaxed and you don't have to like attempt to be as entertaining.
But at the same time, it's not the same unless someone randomly personally insults you.
Look, everybody says shit like that. Everybody says it's like at least I'm like it's like I just don't want to like fucking fake being entertaining. People don't go there to fuck. Yes, entertainment is part of it, but you can be entertaining just by being you.
Yeah.
Like people have this thing in their mind, and I'm talking about like a lot.
It's easier to be entertaining.
Even
you though.
Even successful fucking streamers like have it in themselves to say, you know what, I have to be this fucking certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to be something different in order to be entertaining. Well, that's like the complete opposite. That as cheesy as it sounds, is like don't try to be, someone else. Or don't be someone else. Be yourself. Everybody else is taken.
Doctor disrespect.
I am Dr. Respect.
Yeah, Dr. Respect. Yeah, you should. I told you earlier. I think that's a very good idea. He's like, oh shit, I got killed. He must be better than me.
You are very skilled. I hope you go professional.
All right, dudes. Well, thank you for stopping by. This won't be the last. I can guarantee you that. Especially you, BTH. We're gonna have a podcast because I have a bone to pick with you and why BTH is so easily accessible for members to just join. Okay,
I agree.
And we'll leave
sick of it.
We'll leave that for the next one. But yeah, if you guys have any comments, please leave them in the description down below. Any guests that you guys would like to see in the future, please again leave the comments. I read them sometimes. Having said that, I'm gonna see you guys next time on the next podcast. I'm doing my outro for my vlog. Anyway, hit him with the music.